What's up, everybody? Matt Freedman here. We are back at Backstage Bucks County. We are here with the legend, Mr. Evan Walton. Evan, what's happening, brother?
I just came over to see you guys.
Oh,
hey.
He just walked upstairs.
I just came upstairs and found you guys in the attic, so I thought
He says
hang
that,
out.
but he came prepared with some epic T-shirts from the greatest band ever.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the greatest band ever. Probably one of the best T-shirts ever, Wineskin. So first of all, thank you for the T-shirt. It's a good one, too. They don't cheap out. So what's going on, man? How are things?
Well, life is great. Yeah, just hanging around. Came over here to talk to you guys, I guess, about music and real estate and life and maybe how all those things have woven together in my own life. I mean, that's the only subject I can really pontificate on. So,
well, let's pontificate further. So, your background, obviously, you and Dustin are in Wineskin together. Legendary band around here in Bucks County that's been around
32 years.
32 years. Wow. So, Dustin.
I'm 32 years old.
I was going to say, you picked up Dustin when he was in diapers playing the drums.
He was actually birthed at a gig.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Being conceived, I don't doubt that. Being birthed.
Right out of a bass drum. It was amazing. Yeah.
Oh my God! So you're obviously you're an amazing guitar player. You know, you're a real estate legend in the area. We've become friends over the past couple of years through bands and shows intertwining.
Yep.
So start from the beginning, man. Take us all the way back. You know, either track, real estate, music, whatever, whatever you want to kick off with, man.
Well, I guess music came first. Like as I was winding down my academic career at Del Val College. We started the band. I started with two high school mates. Neither of them are here still, but that was in 1993. And then sort of like pre-internet, so we did all our flyering out of a van and made paper, you know, brochures or flyers, and did a mailing list with mail.
Whoa, way back.
Yeah, way back. Yeah, so pre-internet, pre-cell phone, pre all that stuff. So
Yep.
And we started playing then, gigging regularly, which I just have never stopped, and that's it. Just grew that, I guess, brand, at least here regionally, and at some points in time grew it larger, and it's just been a part of my life since, and it's evolved slowly, like through, you know, just the natural things that happen to people in life. You know, someone would be in the band for a long time and attrition out, someone else would come in, and and unfortunately, you know, we've lost two guys over the years, and that's
sad, man. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry to hear that. That's
those guys were both good friends of mine, you know, from pre-high school age, and lost my drummer to just poor choices, and our bass player died 3 years later of colon cancer.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, it's a cautionary tale. I mean, we hear it all the time, and we've actually written a good number of songs about it and losing people. I grew up. I've lost 6 guys in my life that were athletes. I mean, I played college football with half of them and lost to overdoses, to fentanyl, this or that, and I don't know what it is. You know, if it's this region of the country is more rampant with it, or what. But I don't know what to attribute it to, man. I don't
know. I think, I guess you just feel like it can't happen to you, or you're, because you're beloved in a circle of some sort that you're, you're impenetrable. You know, it's part of bragging rights, partying when you're young.
It's true.
And that can convert into addiction, which I definitely saw. So, but otherwise, I mean, the band has been totally a part of my being since I was 21, and I'm 53. So
wow.
It's been a long time.
Does that make up 32 years? I went to public school. You have to excuse that.
Even at Catholic school, it's 32 years. But yeah.
Same math.
Yeah, even at farm school, it's still 32 years. But, but I've been lucky to make so many wonderful relationships and had seen a lot of cool things. Being in a band is fun, whether it's monetized or you make money or not. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a big pain in the ass too, but it's a lot of fun.
It definitely is. Yeah, one of the things that, when we first got to meet, I think it was a couple festivals we were kind of crossing over and playing. First of all, I mean, you can slay. You're a great guitar player. You're a great vocalist. You're a great band leader, having Dustin in the band. So I was always curious of two things about Wineskin. One, where the hell did the name actually come from? So we'll start there.
Okay, short, disappointing story. It's simply a footnote in a book, and I said, boy, that's a cool word. And then when you read what it is, it's not really that cool. It's like a lamb's intestines converted into a bag that carries wine, which, you probably wouldn't do that now. And, and there's like some Old Testament reference to it. Yeah, it's biblical as well. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if it was like totally made up word. I was waiting for this opportunity to ask you kind of where it came from.
So we are a band of biblical proportions. Right. Yes. So that, it was just in college, it was a footnote in a book that I probably didn't read all the way, but I thought, there's our name. And I didn't want a band name with "the" in front of it.
Gotcha.
Like the Beatles, the Cars, the whatever. I wanted a single word.
Right.
So.
Well, you nailed it. I love it. That's great. I finally got the answer I was looking for.
There it is.
Secondly is how and why did Dustin come into your life, and how did he end up sitting on the throne for the band?
I think the calamity of errors that brought him to us was that we were running a jam at Bobby Simone's bar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
And then after Tim's passing, we had a fellow named Jim Hines kind of jump in for a year or two, or maybe a little bit longer, something like that. And Jim had a great
he's a legend himself.
History.
Yeah, we've heard that name a ton. Like Pierre mentions him all the time, and
So Jim was a drummer for Brian Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So he was like a real story. So he had relocated to the area. He's like a real grown up.
I'm a real boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he started jamming with us, and then he just kind of stepped into the spot because he was around. He was nice enough to take the position. I think he enjoyed it. He certainly gave us some disciplines we hadn't had before. And then I think he just was starting to retire. And then Dustin, I think through the bass player,
Mark Carson.
Mark,
yeah,
had introduced him to us at the jam. And then I think we didn't have a drummer for a gig, so I called him, and he was,
Yeah, I was mowing the lawn, and it was like.
Is that a true story?
Yeah,
it's
like
true
2
story.
p.m. Sometime in the summer, and I took a break, and I looked at my phone, and Mark was like, "We need a drummer. Who can do it? $50 and a cheeseburger. Bring your own drums." I'm like, "I'm not doing anything tonight. It's Tuesday."
And that's a raise, really.
Yeah.
Right as you were conceived out of the kick drum.
Right then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right, see you."
So I think you ended up doing the car show with us without rehearsal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Without rehearsal?
No rehearsal.
No rehearsal.
I hate how good you are at music.
I'm not. I just don't like rehearsal.
It's how bad we are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it
It was really a good fit in that regard. But you came and did the gig, and then I said, "Here, if you want the job, it's yours."
And then about 15 years into it, he was like, "Would you like to become an official member?" I'm like, "Oh, sure."
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Qualifies for pension, 401k.
Yeah,
Nice.
All that thing.
Long-term DI.
I cashed out all my
All your
bingo
shares?
chips and- yeah.
His shares.
Nice. So was it always, because right now you guys have like this weird cult following. I mean, I don't know if I told you this, Evan, but I think I told you this story. I was taking my kids to the movie theater in Warrington maybe a year and a half ago. We were seeing something on an afternoon right around the holidays. And somehow the guys I was with, we were talking about music, and Wineskin somehow had come out of someone's mouth. And literally the guy who was behind the bar, like serving drinks at the bar in the movie theater was like, "What? You guys know Wineskin? Like, I've been going to their shows for," and I'm like, this is perfect. Because every time that your name comes up, someone in earshot like has that same reaction. So do you get that a lot? Do people come up to you and recognize you locally and sort of have that same thing?
Yeah, I think I've grown accustomed to it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I mean, I guess if you stay here long enough, but, I think we're good at it, and we've become part of the fabric of the community here. And always happy to do everybody's benefits. I don't know, it's been a part of everybody. We have a lot of friends who come out who have been singing the band for 30 years, or we play at their houses, or et cetera. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's not just a band. I think we've become
a family.
It's a family. We've become a bit of a destination. I see guys get
That's
married.
That's really cool. I like that. Yeah.
10 years later, they're divorced. They come back. They say, I'm single. I can come out again.
We'll do all the parties. We'll do the marriage and the divorce.
The divorce parties.
Yeah. So it's for whatever reason. I think I do it because I love it. I think Dustin does it for the same reason. I don't think he would.
I actually hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was totally wrong then.
You were conceived out of a kick drum, so what other choice do you have?
No choice.
So when you guys were first starting out, was it? I mean, it's kind of an eclectic blend of a lot of different things that you guys play. Because I've seen you, a number of different times. It seems you guys have your thing so dialed in. Like the harmonies are great. You play off of each other. You can jam, with the best of them. But it's cohesive and it's tailored. So like, what would you call? It's not jam band. It's not yacht rock. It's not rock and roll. It's kind of the intersection of all these things. Like, what is it?
I mean, that sounds like a good summary. I mean, the spirit of the band has remained the same the whole time. Like, we were a trio when we started. Then we added a keyboard player. We had a sax player over the years. I've had different rhythm guitar players. We've had probably 3-4 keyboard players at this point. Joe Bonner.
Joe's fantastic.
And he's been with us at least maybe 20 years, almost 20 years.
He just doesn't leave.
He doesn't leave.
No.
Yep. So I don't know why. It's just a spirit of feel free to explore. There's no instructions on how to play the song. Like, here's the song we're going to play. Why don't you do what you think is right?
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes. And if it doesn't go well, we'll do it different.
Right.
I mean, it's a cool way to sort of approach it. But, I mean, early in the days, you guys were doing more originals, right? Because there's still people that I come across that still have your old record. Like the guy from John and Peters, you were just saying, like, has your physical record playing in his car, you know? So there's... How did you guys kind of go from the original thing to covers, or did it just naturally sort of occur?
I think it's just naturally evolved that way. We still play some originals. Like, not, it used to be 90% of the set. Now it's probably 10 or 15% of the set. And I guess, I don't know, maybe you just start to adhere to the market. Like, you know, people want to come out and dance and have a good time.
Yeah.
And we play songs our way. Like, you know, it's not that you don't recognize the song, but you know, our energy is there. Our signature is on it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we've recorded 3 albums and an EP, like in the early 90s. It was like a cassette. And then we did 3 CDs. The last CD we did was probably a pretty long time ago, like 06 or 07. And
oh, wow.
That was recorded in Virginia with David Lowery from Cracker, produced our record. And, you know, we spent time with him. And that was a great experience as well. So, I mean, the whole thing, it's just an experience.
Yeah.
It's my life.
It's, you know, it's funny because, like, looking at our experience in music too, he and I remember how we started the band or the project or whatever. We were literally sitting on my back porch and we're like, you know, COVID was starting to like open up a little bit. Live music was happening again. I'm like, you want to just go wing it and just play a bunch of music? And I love country music. I love the songwriting. I love that style. And my wife and I met out, you know, over it. And, you know, so there was never like an ego. There was never really a plan. It was just like, we've been playing music together since we were in middle school. Do you want to go do it? And it seems like you guys were sort of birthed out of the same ethos. It's like, we love music. We have the gift to play it. Let's just go do it. You know, was that kind of how it came together?
Yeah, I agree. And I think something you said is very important is that there's no ego.
Oh, yeah.
Zero ego.
Big time, yeah.
People come up to us and say that. They're like, I don't understand. There's no ego.
Why?
What's that?
Yeah, what is that? You know?
Yeah.
And if it's not fun, I certainly don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, we have fun, and the band, the guys are friends, and it's important. Mm-hmm. And the people in our lives who are important are also friends with each other.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so not that it has to be that way, but it's turned out that way, which is nice.
I mean, you've curated that over, whether you realize it or not, over 30 years. Nothing, whether it's a band, a company, a relationship, lasts that long without, you know, kind of staying humble and staying, you know, true to like why you started it in the first place, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. No, it's cool because, you know, we're just trying to curate this community through the show, through the music, through the band, and like playing festivals. You've always been sort of at the cornerstone of that. You know, if people ask us like, hey, to play a show, and it's like, well, who else can do it that brings, you know, a good community feel? And it's always you guys. You know, we're just sort of, you know, I'm following in your footsteps of what you've built over 30 years, you know.
It's going to be fun, those footsteps.
Always fun.
Yeah. We try to keep it light. You know, it's a different style of music, of course, but it's all the same stuff. And, you know, talk to me a little bit about like what you've seen over the years in Bucks County specifically around a music scene here. Like, has there been one? Has it gone through like, you know, pockets and highs and lows? And like, where do you think it is right now?
Yeah, I think there's always been a level of music scene here, and it's definitely seen apexes and pinnacles, and it's declined. There's been a tremendous amount of great players that I've had the opportunity to interact with here that are pros, that are full-timers, that, you know, also come out to jams. You know, New Hope has had a lot of that opportunity. And we've been a part of that. I mean, since the early 90s, I started playing at John and Peters in 93. You know, so like physically a lot has changed. Like, you used to start at 10 o'clock and get done at 2 a.m. and get home at 3:30 smelling like a pack of Marlboros and a case of Budweiser. But, you know, which was great, but those days are over. I mean,
it's 6 to 9, the dinner crowd.
It's 6 to 9. I feel like the crowd that maybe comes to see live music wants to go home earlier too.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's past my bedtime, so.
I feel that way. Yeah, often. Like it's a little bit of a push to get out of the house some nights. I'm like, I don't really feel like doing this tonight. Although once you arrive, it's well worth it. But has it changed? Yeah, the scene has definitely changed. Like players have come and gone, venues have come and gone, except Jada Peters and maybe one or two others that are, cornerstones or staples of the. And so, it's just opened the door to a lot of cool relationships and a window into people who play full time and how they see the world and how the world has, sometimes roughed them up. It's a tough way to go. I would question whether or not I would want to do it full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that ever come across your mind as something like we could make a full-time thrust at this, or have you always had either real estate or some other kind of career?
Yeah, I definitely made a big dummy decision when I was younger, like maybe in my late 20s. Like I had kids early. Like, so by the time I was 24 or 23, 24, like we were parents. But
Wow.
I had the band, and like I started selling insurance out of college because my wife was pregnant and we were still in school, and I said I got to get, as soon as I get out of school, I got to get a job at his health insurance.
Yep.
And so in the newspaper, which is where you would look for a job then, and this is like 94 or 5, I don't know, something like 6, 95. Julie was born in 90, so it was been in 95. So I found a job that said health insurance the first day. I was selling life insurance out of an office in Quakertown. I said, that is my job. So I called the dude, and they were like, high turnover sales job, but it was Prudential. They had health insurance. I got a license. I started, they gave me some kind of minimal draw, but it was enough to have, a baby. And then I stayed with it for a couple of years. But after 3 or 4 years of that, like the band was doing well. We were playing 4 nights a week, like from Buffalo down to about Baltimore.
Wow, really?
Yeah, like a lot. And I went to work almost every day. Like not every time, but like if we played Harrisburg, I would drive home. If we played, like if it was under 4 hours, I would come home because I had to take my daughter to daycare. So as long as I was home by sunup, I'd get Julia to daycare, and then I could go to work. And then, the next night would be Asbury or wherever. But so I quit my insurance job, which, long term is a nice gig because it's like a residual income business.
Yeah.
But, so I left that, and then I spent about maybe 2 years, year and a half, just full time. So we had 2 vans, we had a garage full of equipment. I did all the booking, all the promotion, I arranged all the interviews, newspaper stuff, the lead stuff to get into an article in the paper, like before, a week before you get to Williamsport, your article's in the paper because you were dealing with periodicals a lot. And ultimately, the yield was as much as I could put into it is about as much as I could get back out of it.
Makes sense. Yep.
And we weren't a pop band. We were kind of floating in out of the burgeoning like jam band scene, and we get some radio play. We made records, but as much as like you could make, you pour it right back in. And then ultimately, I said, "This is like I'm just, man, I'm burning rubber." Like,
Yep.
Luckily we had bought a townhouse like when I was working, like, and the mortgage was not through the roof. Like it was okay. My wife had a job, but at some point you're like, I can't be up to 4 a.m. like 4 or 5 nights a week. Like,
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it just got hard. And then you start to see like, people become casualties of that lifestyle. And I didn't want that either.
It's a whole different perspective and a whole different slice of life that a lot of people don't realize. Like when we interact with people, they're seeing us on stage. We have these quick little, flashes of a relationship with people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you don't see them again until the next show. So, I mean, for you do you think that having a young family and being that young saved you and kind of like kept you more on the straight and narrow versus like a lot of the other casualties? Or could you have seen yourself kind of going more 5-6 nights a week, like not having to be home the next morning to go to daycare?
Yeah, I think I probably would have damaged or hurt myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think having an anchor was critical. And I had to learn how to balance. Like, do I want to play music for a long time? And I mean, I love this. I love doing it. I love all the things that come with it. But, whatever a rock star said, like, you can't be at the party. I mean, it was Stevie Ray Vaughan. You can't be at the party every night. Like, it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
And other things are rewarding in life as well. Like, work is rewarding. Like, it makes you feel...
It makes you a well-rounded individual,
of course.
right?
Yeah, you feel like you have value. Like, having children is very rewarding. Like, so... Like once you get, I guess you get past that like youthful lens on being in a rock band, after 2 or 3 years of, walking into a club and carrying your shit, and like you realize most of these people don't give a fuck. I could bang pots and pans in my head. Like as long as the bartenders and the manager's getting paid, like they don't really give a shit. Unless you get to a point where you're really playing large venues and you're the headliner, and even then, like,
Oh yeah.
if you're an employee in that act, you're not getting. I mean, you got to own everything. Like, I don't think I had the relationships or the mature enough mindset to understand how to build the brand out to make it a lifestyle and a living. And I'm not even quite sure I wanted that lifestyle and living. There's other ways to live, and they seem
More comfortable?
more comfortable,
Yeah,
better.
easy.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because, like, a lot of people, when we interact with other bands, other artists that are trying to do it, they're like, well, how are you doing so many different things? And, we play a lot of shows, and I've had full-time jobs and a family. And, I relate a lot to you where, for me, at the end of the day, this is a hobby. Like, I love playing music. We were blessed enough to be able to do it and actually have people pay us to do it, which still doesn't make sense to me. But I'm a dad first. Like, that's my responsibility. That's my purpose. So if we're going to play a show, to your point, Buffalo, Virginia, whatever, I'm driving home that night because that's my responsibility. That's what I need to do.
It is, and it helps you leave. Even though, like, in my head, I'd be like, this sucks. I got to go home, like, from York or wherever the hell you're. But what would I remember now about the night I stayed out till 6 instead of 2? Like, in Asheville, Pennsylvania, some club. Like, nothing.
Shout out to Asheville.
Yeah, if you've been to Asheville,
It's beautiful.
It's not in Bucks County.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, we don't work that market.
No.
So the yield in other spaces has proven to be a much greater bounty than I think than. And you watch people who decided that was more valuable use of their time, and whatever demons they had in them. And there's a lot of things inside of people that you don't know. Like, they do have strong addictive personalities, or a real fear of missing out, or like an insecurity that drives them to want to always constantly be around this adulation that you get from being in even a local band. Like, you get it, and it like gives you, it's like some kind of false high about who you are. If you can get intoxicated on that. It's not good for you, and it's not good for the real relationships in your life. I have found, so. But I think coming to that realization has helped me, or given me the compass to make this thing run for so long in a healthy way.
Yeah. No, it's cool. You're someone I look up to in that regard because, not that you have to be dad and, have a 9-to-5 and, be band leader on the same day, but some days you kind of do, and it's not like.
Some days you do.
I've always wrestled with feeling like I have to be 3 totally separate people in the same day just to achieve all those things, and for a long time I had a, somewhat corporate software 9-to-5 where at night, I was like afraid almost to tell people at work, like what I did as a musician. But once they found out, they were like, oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that you had this outlet or whatever it was. So it took me a really long time to fully integrate all of those things into one where I felt authentically just me. Like, I just do these things in my day.
Yeah, that's a really good assessment.
Right, because you have like three different things. How do I combine that all to, and you want to be authentic to yourself?
Correct.
And
every one and they're different. Like, you just don't run in every day to someone that has these different things going on. So, like, when did that happen for you, where you felt like it was fully integrated, where you could be all 3 things?
I think probably after I decided I didn't want to be looked at as somehow, like, you feel like you can cross over some line, like you've become famous or cool or a rocker or something. Right. You're like, oh wait, that's all a bunch of crap. Actually, I'll just be me. Like, even though it is a much different, it's tough to call it a hobby. Like, it is a hobby, but it's a big.
It's a business.
Big hobby.
It chooses you.
To me, it's a business. It's like, yes, it's an outlet. Yes, it's creative. Yes, it's different. But I try to run everything we do as if it's a startup. Like, you want to take care of people and pay them well and what they deserve, and your client is the venue, and you want to make sure they're happy. So we're trying to shoot content and, like, over deliver value back to them.
Agreed.
To get them to bring you back.
But I guess it's just at some point I realized like it isn't hunting or fishing or golfing. Like that's different. Like
That's a good point.
even though like I probably burn up as much money as if I played golf all the time. I mean, like by the time you add up all, I mean, if I did the books, I would be negative a bazillion. So, like, so luckily there's no accountant, and you know, that's money I take. You know, one else sees in the house, but someone has to see that the
It's
money.
Evan's slush fund.
It's my own slush fund. So, but you realize it's because you love to do it. Period. Like, you know, you'd get old or you'd become empty otherwise. I mean, like you have to. Hey, Dustin, you're right. It chooses you. Like, you know, I feel natural playing guitar. It's good for me. But yeah, eventually, yeah, I just like because I'll be at my office and I'm like doing stuff for work and I'm like, oh, I should probably promote my show. So then I switch. I'm like, oh, but you know, the small advantage we have with the internet now is like you can click for 5 minutes and cover a lot of ground.
That's true. Yeah, you don't have to go to the newspapers and like tell Williamsport you're coming in a month.
No, I used to drive to the Troc like because we'd be playing the Troc on a Friday, so you'd have to look at city paper and figure out what bands in the next 30 or the previous 30 days are somewhat aligned with what you deliver. You're like, well, we have to go stand in front of the venue and hand out the paper flyers all night. Like, I mean, that I think for the most part is gone. You know, maybe it'd be cool and retro now, but that burned up a lot of the clock. You're like, this is a lot. I got to drive down to the city just to hand out flyers to come home, to go back Friday and to play the gig for nothing. You know, so yeah, you can get a lot done. Like you can order T-shirts, stickers, and promote your band like in a lot of spaces in a half hour.
Right.
And then I can put my other cap back on, and it's nice. It's like a relief. I'm like, you know, maybe I'm ADD, or maybe you are. Maybe we all are.
I'm
maybe
sure, without question.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I think it's an advantage.
You know what? It's funny you say that because not long ago, it was probably about 6 months ago, I was watching something. I forget who said it, but it was literally about that. They said, I have extreme ADD. And, you know, guy was an entrepreneur, a million projects, but he's like, I use that as my competitive edge over other people.
You have to learn how to do that. And once you learn how to do that.
Yeah, like if there's a script to get rid of it, I don't want it.
Right.
You know?
Right. I agree
I'm
with
totally
you.
good with this. Like, this is great. I'm crazy. If you're a musician, there's some partial imbalance in your head, but it's great. Like, and then when you talk about it to people at work or my clients or your own clients, like now that you're comfortable in that space, like they appreciate it. And we've like a lot of my real estate clients come to see the band.
Right.
And then they become friends. Like, you know, relationship sales is important.
Mm-hmm.
But you just develop natural. It's the space, and we're lucky to have this neat vehicle, Wineskin, which is so people come see. You're like, oh, this is fun. Like you have a big crowd here. Everybody's having a good time, and so it's. You know. And then even clients that like Jeff, for example, like who runs does a lot of charity work.
He's Car for Cancer.
Does Car for Cancer. So his name is Jeff Madison. He has his Car for Cancer and the Live Like Brent Foundation. So he was a client. That's how I met Jeff. And I thought, you know, I'm going to invite this guy out. We had a couple beers, and I'm like, all right, you're going to come meet the band. And then you're like, oh, like it's not just a regular thing. We are a little bit of a cool niche here. And
yeah.
So then we play all his events. We do the fundraising with them and the Poconos and all the spots. And it's great. Like, what an opportunity. It's like the
family,
music. Yeah, right. The music's taking you to so many spaces. Like,
That's awesome. That's the perfect example of the full intersection and the integration of all of those things.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, and it's cool. It took me, you know, like I said, it took me personally a long time to even recently to get to that point. I left my corporate 9 to 5, you know, and now we're building stuff like this because I feel like, there's a ton of people that are creative, doing cool stuff in Bucks County that I just feel like I live here. We have, like you, a unique opportunity to just build community just by the nature of like playing music, you know, because it's where people are letting their hair down and doing their thing, and we're the people that are sort of the curators of that a lot of times. But you know, one thing I wanted to ask you, a lot of people that are friends of ours, musicians starting out as acoustic performers, they ask us a lot like, how do you build brand? How do you, you know, I want to break into Nashville, or I want to do this or that, or I want to be the next this. And my advice to them is like, you have to set an expectation of what success looks like for you. Like, what is your version of success? Not fame, not stardom, not record sales. It's like, what do you what are you doing this for? How does it fit into your life and your journey and your story that you want to tell? You know, I'm curious for you, like, what advice would you have to someone that asks that kind of a question, who's a musician coming up? You know, how would you frame that to them?
Well, what you said, I think is right. So, what are you doing this for? And like, so, and after playing a long time, like people go, oh, someday you're gonna make it. I'm like, I have made it.
Yeah,
I have made it. This is where I wanted to be. Like, or maybe not when I was 20, but at this age, I definitely have made it. Like, so why do you want to do this? If it's for the glory, then you're not really a musician. You're someone who just wants to be looked at.
yeah. It's just you just want fame, and that's a
You
whole
want fame.
different.
You want adulation. You want people to
and
like
good luck.
you because you are under a spotlight. Like, that's as useless. I'll skip the terrible analogies, but it's useless. You know, I won't even say it. It's terrible. But it's useless. It's a useless space. If you just want adulation, I mean, it's empty. So if you want to develop relationships and rapport and friends and you know, all that stuff, then why are you doing this? Why do you want to play music? Is it just in you so much that you have to get it out? But brand building in Nashville or New York or anywhere else, I wouldn't have I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we're obviously, you know, more connected to that. And when we were first starting out, you know, I thought just playing country music and writing, I felt like there was a part of me that had to be there in Nashville and like shaking hands, kissing babies, doing the whole thing. And over time, you know, I sort of had to even zoom out with our career and just realize, kind of to your point, like, what are you doing this for? You know, the reason why I started, again, I was playing in my early 20s and, you know, kind of the Philly bar scene and playing covers and whatever. But during COVID, my wife came to me and was like, you need to find a way to work music back into your life because you're a better person when you do.
That's a good wife.
And for me, you know, I don't deserve a partner like that, you know, who recognized that. And I was pissed off and, you know, miserable and drinking, sitting on the couch. And so it took that moment
Is
for
drinking
me.
and sitting on the couch necessarily bad?
Not necessarily, but probably more than I should have been. You know?
You could be doing that right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, you know, there's a bottle of Angels Envy there. If that's,
If we get there, you know, when we hit the halfway mark.
yeah, there you go. But, you know, so for me, it took, you know, that was sort of my compass to revisit this whole thing. And I knew there was something in me that I had to either say or just do with music. Did you have were there times, like, you've been doing this 32 years? I'm sure there's times where you're sort of like, all right, this is it. You're 16. Like, why am I doing this? You know, do you have sort of those ebbs and flows with it
Yeah.
to revisit?
Yeah, and I mean, I've definitely like found the answer, right? Because I want to do it. And
It's
like,
pretty simple. I mean,
like that's it. And there was definitely, although without it, yeah, I get irritated.
Yeah.
You know, like if we don't play, and there's definitely been points like when our first drummer died. Like, I mean, suddenly, like, you know, you're here. He played it with some guys at John and Peters, came home, you know, stayed up late, woke up dead. So, you know, that's a tough phone call to get. Like, that's somebody who you're so woven in. You're not just friends. I mean, there's like your musical journey together. Like, first of all, their story's over. They have 2 kids, like, know everybody. And so, anyway, the whole thing is super sad. But I don't know. Where were we going with that? I forget. But anyway, like.
just like revisiting why you do it.
Keeping
you
it
know?
going.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
like,
Yeah, keeping it going.
so it was hard to say, well, I guess I should go back to doing this.
Sure. At that point, I'm sure you were like, well,
Like, what is this is bad. Like, but it's not.
but it's because you want to do it,
I want to do it.
no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what.
Right.
So, like, I didn't make that decision.
Right.
You know, you have to, you know, live by your own decisions.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. So there's been a few times where I did not play for elongated periods, which would be like 6 months or
Sure.
9 months without gigs. Yeah, I was like, wow, I actually like truly miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know the feeling. We
It's
go
healing
through.
and it's therapy too. You know.
absolutely.
To get through
It's
something like
great.
that.
Yeah, you make a great point, man. Like, there's times throughout the year we go through lulls like this almost every year. It's like we come off of the high of playing wedding
phone
season,
call, yeah.
festival season. It's October. You know, every October is like the pinnacle, and then November hits. We have like 1 or 2 theater shows, and then we are off. I do this purposely because I need the reset after, you know, usually a season, and I try to take like a month or two off in January, February. There's nothing going on anyway.
Sure.
But, you know, he and I talk, and like a lot of times in March, we're like,
what are we doing?
what, like, is it going to be this bad? You know, and then by the time June hits, we're like, oh my God, I need a break from this already. And it just comes in those cycles every year. But, you know, I know for you, it's like music, this is what you do, and it's what you have to do because it's oxygen, it's your bloodline,
Right.
it's everything, you know? But I mean, talk about that, because I'm sure a lot of people feel that way in the wintertime when nothing's happening. You're like, God, is this ever going to come back?
Don't do it. Not good. Don't do it. Yeah, people ask me like, oh, what kind of advice? My 6-year-old wants to be a musician. What? And I'm like, don't do it. And that's the best advice I could ever give anyone. But no, you know, you think about like, oh, maybe I'll stop doing it or try to stop doing it or anything like that, and no, it keeps you up at night. You're like, I can't do that. It just, I think you're born with it, you know, and it never leaves, no matter how hard you try to. But you just have to embrace it, and you just keep going. And sometimes you don't know what the hell you're doing, but you just keep going and going and going and going and going.
Yeah, we don't know where it's going.
No, you don't know where it's going.
But if you keep
That's
putting it
sometimes
out
the
there-
hardest part, you know, is the unknown.
Yeah.
It's unknown. It's funny, like if you keep making noise, like other people notice, and it's like you connect, like some other
It's the
person
weirdest
wants to have an
thing,
event, they're like, I'm going to call those guys. And then you get this call from some person, you're like, okay, then you meet this new person, and you go see some new venue or facility or event.
And sometimes you think like, oh, I really deserve this. Other times like, I don't deserve this. What's, you know, and
That's
it's so weird.
That's the hardest part.
So weird.
Because, you know, to your, like,
It's not a normal thing. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not a, you know, there's nothing's promised.
it could all go away
You can't
tomorrow.
look at like, oh, that's the goal. Yeah, no, it could all go away tomorrow.
Yep.
Or today.
We were just sitting on the couch right before this, you know, shooting another episode with Ben Luber, who's one of the basketball coaches at University of Penn.
Cool.
He spent his entire life, and I've known him for most of it, playing basketball, like around one thing. And even he acknowledged, he's like, all of this could go away for me tomorrow, even with a 40-year life dedicated to one thing. For whatever reason, however it would happen, it could go away.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think about if music left us, you know, I don't know what else I would fill that void, or how I could fill that void.
It's unlike anything else. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fun, like robbing a bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go on.
Like, you're like, wow, I got away with it again. Like, every gig, I'm like, this is great. I can't believe we did this again.
And it's weird because it's out of your control. You can only control so much of it, and the other side you just gotta just let it go. Like, I don't, you know, it's the weirdest. It's the weirdest thing. It's unlike anything.
Yeah, once we start playing every night, I feel like, you know, when the thing goes down on the roller coaster, and you're like,
Here we go.
Here we go, I'm in.
Yep.
Right.
And here we go, 3 hours of
Roller coaster.
shenanigans.
Yeah.
That's it.
And no
comes
matter
out.
whether you're playing for one person or 20,000 people, I look at it the same. You know.
What are some of the most memorable, or maybe the most memorable show that you guys have played together? What comes to mind for you?
For Dustin and I?
Yeah, like with Dustin as a member of Wineskin.
I don't know. What was a good one?
I don't know.
It's
Probably none of them.
we
because of me.
We haven't
No,
peaked
actually,
yet.
I joined and it went downhill. I honestly think everyone,
I know. I feel like every show is like
because we go in with the right mindset,
Yeah.
you know, or below zero expectations, and because of that, we're like, wow, you know,
Yeah. I mean, like the outdoor stuff, like
it's bigger than us too.
It is bigger than us. Like, so it's great. Outdoor stuff is great.
Yeah.
I love it. But I don't know. I can't think of any particular night that gives me a rise more than,
Yeah,
you know, sometimes it's just playing real good.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's more the play rather than like the venue or the setup, or, you know.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate a good venue. I mean,
Sure.
it's nice to
But
play.
sometimes it's like the energy level.
Yeah,
too,
the
and
energy
the
level.
connection that we have. I mean, you have off nights. Sometimes you're like, oh, but you try to make the best of it, and you can't. Again, you can't force it. Sometimes it just happens. And that's the cool thing about music. It's like
Yeah,
a
it's big.
spiritual thing or something. I don't know. You know?
Yeah, and that's where it
You know?
exceeds hobby. Like, there
Yeah.
is something like
Yeah.
your spirit animal is like
Right.
awakened, you know,
Right.
when you're playing. You know, what else drives you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, nothing to that degree. I mean, to your point about it being like a spiritual thing, at least for me, that's when we're playing, it doesn't matter if it's in a bar, acoustic, whatever, or like a festival, big crowd. For me, I just feel like I'm most myself in that moment. Like there's no noise, there's no clutter, there's no chaos. It is just pure, honest. Like that's what I feel like I'm here to do.
Yeah.
Whether I'm any good at it or not is all
And
subjective.
You can't
and
put a price on that, you know?
But it doesn't even matter at that point. It's just like, this
Cares
is what I
people
just
think.
I truly don't. If I did, then I wouldn't be in this business, you know?
Right. Yeah, you can't think about that.
You can't, you
For the
know?
kids, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, I mean, kind of a segue from that. So the Carve for Cancer thing, you guys have done for a lot of years, right?
Yeah, 3 or 4 or 5 years, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been chatting with trying to get him on the show and
Yeah,
just
we'll
like,
be
you know, but you guys, part of what you do is like you're big on community relationships, trying to get those moments together where Wineskin is like the energy thrust for those moments to even happen, right? So how much of that do you guys do like in a given year? You know, just giving back or doing charitable stuff or shows for people
Probably,
that you care about?
you know, a couple or 4 or 5 a year, which is, we would do more if there were like events that really, it seemed like it was useful. Like, I feel like the events where it really adds value. Like, you know, a lot of people say, can you do this? And you go, well, actually, we're probably not the right fit for your event. You're better off with a DJ or, like, I understand your enthusiasm, but there are events that there's a different source of entertainment that's a better fit for your event. So when it seems right, then absolutely. And yeah, like we do bring an energy, and we're lucky enough to have that intangible whatever that. So yeah, I love to do it. I mean, for the, you know, making the same amount of money, it's okay.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that for 1 second, because it's a core thing to go from hobby to, you know, being a pro. You've been at this 32 years, so you can confidently say like you're to a degree a pro musician. Like you've had a band, whether you want to call yourself that or not.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You know, from an outsider's perspective, you've hit a level or you know,
Kept it going for 32 years.
yeah, like in anything, a relationship, a business, a band. You know, so what's been the key to like the longevity and the success that you guys have had as a band?
Well, for me, like it's just been, you know, treat everybody very well. I'm not worried about if the monetary result is what I needed it to be that night. Like, you know, club owners are happy to rip you off. Like, I just don't sweat the small stuff anymore. Like, I don't care. Like the music, the relationships with the guys who are in the band, and everything else that is around it is so much more valuable to me than I'd have to be making. Actually, I don't know if there's an amount of money that would be more valuable than that. So like it's such a nucleus of my life that all of my friendships are built around it or have been delivered from it or to it. And like my kids babysit the kids of our Dave, our bass player's kids. Like all the wives know each other. Like we have dinner together. We have a shared experience. Like you know, what else do you want in life? I mean, I'm not sure how much more money would change that. Like I'm comfortable. Like my career delivers a good lifestyle. I can pay for all the things I need. Like, but to have this added world, like, sure, I treat it, you know, I treat it with great value. It's fragile. Like you said, it can change in a minute, and that's happened to me. I realize how hard it is to put those pieces back together and accept that. But I wouldn't. There's, you know, I don't think there's anything more. The money thing, you know, I guess if you could find a way to make money at this and do that as well, that would be great. And I'm sure there's people that have found that path. I have found a path to make money, and I have found a path that, you know, has delivered a nice, the kind of life that I like, you know, and introduces me to what I think are interesting people and people with similar interests and who are kooky and eclectic and arty and yeah, like I mean, like it's not boring, you know.
Like people who start a podcast in a strip mall, yeah,
right.
No, man, it's inspiring. Like every time in the quick, you know, opportunities that we get to really sit down and talk, like we really haven't in this forum, you know, really gotten to know each other, and it's cool. And I look at you, like I said, as someone who's done it. If I can have you know, a 10, 15, 20, 30-year career playing music to any degree, it fulfills me in a way that is way more important than any money ever could. You know, that'd be cool.
And
but
I feel because of that, then that's when the money comes. You know?
it's
it can be a
interesting,
byproduct of it. I agree. But if it's not, it's okay. But I must have some muscle memory in my head. Like I literally if we're playing Friday by Tuesday, I'm thinking about I should play that song a little different. When I'm driving, I'm like, oh, what time will I load in on Friday? Do I need strings? And then come Friday, I'm excited. Tomorrow I'll be excited. I'm I can't wait to get over there. And make racket. It's a pizza place.
Right.
That's awesome.
Now another thing is, tell us about the Moose, because that's urban legend.
Yeah, that's a happy, sad story. It was a building with a private club in it that we had the opportunity to own and run for a while. But so there was a great old banquet hall upstairs. And I said, well, this is neat. Let's try booking bands up here. So we brought in a lot of great, touring acts kind of on the, tertiary, secondary circuit, between New York and Philadelphia. You could squeeze them on a weeknight for a good value. So we would get we had Cracker. We had a lot of the Ween guys come over and all versions of Ween. And
Pink would show up, right?
Yeah, we had Pink there.
Oh, wow. I
mean, luckily she's a local character. And, and again, through making music, someone knew that person, connected to that person. And, it's funny enough, she wanted to do something there. So she got my cell number and I was, at home, and she called and she said, this is Alicia. I said, all right. Neato. But my daughter was doing homework. I'm like, hey, want to say hi to my daughter real quick? That was real neat.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
But we had a lot of different acts. We had Vince Welnick from the Grateful Dead. We had a lot of guys come through that Bernie Worrell was there a couple times, Mike Hampton. These guys from Parliament Funkadelic and regional players who live here, or national players who live regionally. You could get them in on off nights, or if they weren't touring, they could keep their guys working.
Yeah.
So it was and we'd Cracker, it was great, and that's how we developed a relationship with Cracker.
Right.
I didn't know David Lowery. He reached out to me
before going down to record the album down there.
Yeah, he reached out to me. He sent me an email, and I read it. And I was like, "Who's David Lowery?" I didn't necessarily recognize his name, but I looked him up. Oh, it's the guy from Cracker. So I called him, and he's like, "We're coming. Somebody gave me your number, and we're going from Philadelphia to Albany, wherever the hell they were going. Can you squeeze us in?" I was like, "Yeah, of course."
Of course, yeah. Oh my gosh.
And so that opened that relationship.
That's pretty cool, because there's a moment there where you mixed the music with the business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, we had a bar downstairs. Yeah. That whole thing, the bar business is just a black hole. So that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I would never in my life do that again. When people say, "Oh, you should run a venue," I'm like, never. It's a hard. If you like losing money, cash is like water. It just.
Well, you've done it all.
Yeah, well, you learn everything. I have to learn everything the hard way.
Yeah.
It's such a natural progression, though, because, we've even entertained conversations like that, when Puck was for sale.
Oh.
And, we have a couple buddies who own, my buddy Tubby owns, Steam Pub and had the Salt House, and now he owns Candlewick. And so it's always been, present, because when you talk to guys like John that owns Chambers, and it's like, man, could we just be the music component, and we can bring in all our friends, and then you step back and you're like, why in God's name would I ever want to be in that business if it's not my thing?
One thing could go wrong, there's 9 things that you didn't see go wrong.
Yeah.
And your phone will ring every hour of the day. When the ice maker breaks, the bread guy didn't show up, the waitress didn't come in, the bartender's fucking the manager, and then that's a big problem.
You want to show up and play music, right?
Yeah,
It's what time do we play?
Total
we'll be there
party. You're the asset holder, and really your team on the field are, everybody's like a drunk, or parties too much. The whole restaurant business is upside down. Unless you're good at it. The guys who are good at it are great at it.
Yeah.
And I know a couple of guys who've they've made money. They've learned, they know how to do it. They know how to control it. Takes a special personality. It's not my personality.
Right.
Me neither. I would get way too caught up in all the, just wanting to overpay people and just have the best band there. I would be a sucker and lose my shirt instantly.
Yeah. It won't happen overnight, but you'll wake up naked. I'm just going to tell you.
That's every night.
I was going to say, it wouldn't be the first time, hopefully not the last.
Oh, that's
Oh,
also
my
good.
God.
That's also good advice.
So shifting gears a little bit. So you've been a real estate agent. You've been a realtor in the region for a long time. Addison Wolfe is right downstairs here in New Hope. You know, sort of the intersection or integration for you, music, real estate, business life, family. Talk a little bit about real estate, kind of why you chose that coming out of insurance. And I mean, you've built a really long real estate career, you know, as well,
I've been
right?
in real
In the
estate
area.
25 years now. Insurance, I was going to go back to it when I decided to go back to work. It's boring. At least I found it boring.
Okay.
Were you doing both for a while too?
Yeah. Yeah, I've had insurance licenses and real estate licenses at the same time. I just ultimately decided to wear a hat and become good at it. I like real estate a lot. My mom was a realtor for 50 years. My sister is an agent.
Oh, wow.
Two of my
Okay.
kids are licensed. My cousin works with me. She's licensed. I like the business, and it lends itself. It is very much, there's something about being in a band for a long time, like learning, like you had mentioned, like you have a lot of these quick dialogues with people that, like you have a short window to make a connection with somebody when you're out. You know, and same thing, and I find, and at least call it lead generation. Like if somebody calls you about something, like I have maybe 15 or 30 seconds from answering the phone into listening to their tone and then having my inflection be welcoming to them to get, you want to get to where it goes from 15 seconds now to a minute. And the longer you're talking and I can get them to laugh, or you can make that short connection that I definitely learned from being in a bar band, that you can convert that skill set, like talking to somebody, like listening to them and then trying to get them smile once, even over the phone. It's like, but if you can make a little bit of, deliver a little levity, but you learn to listen to people's tone and how they're talking to you. It's so critical. It's just a skill I've developed, I think, you know, from just being out night after night. I hosted open mic nights for years. Like, you know, I bartended, but I've been in a band. That's been the one thing that's been a theme the whole time. And like, so booking a band, it means talking to venue owners or trying to get to them. So like learning that, how to navigate or the architecture of a conversation is critical, and it's been really important to me in my business. Now, lead generation in itself is a whole different subject, but when the lead gets to you, converting that 10 seconds on the phone into 1 minute on the phone into a few more minutes where you can learn about them or vet them, and then convert that into an appointment, you know, that's great. And like, so my turnover rate, if you think of it that way, is very high. You know, so when we can capture a lead, our conversion rate is great. Like if I can get in front of somebody or talk to them, that it's just, you know, like the theory of 10,000 hours. Like you become so good or versed at like absorbing how someone is absorbing you and responding to them, and so, and letting them know that you sincerely want to be their agent, and for all the right reasons. You know, you want to get them to the finish line. I want to learn your goals, and then I want to get you there. And so somehow, like, there is a synergy between, I guess, playing music and caring about that whole process, and without going to whatever, like sales training or whatever. That same thing is that same exact skill set is 100% applicable. Like if I do an open house, it's the same thing. Like I have 3 seconds to connect with somebody coming in through the door, to get them to like me, to want to talk to me longer. And just like when people come up to you and say, that was great, I loved what you did tonight, you know, it's important to ask them their name. Like, I want to know who you are.
I
you. Like,
wholeheartedly subscribe to that. We do the same exact thing.
you know,
Yep.
And mean it. Like, love your audience more than they love you. Like, it is so important, and let them, you know, convey that message. Like when you play in front of people, smile, deliver entertainment, be it. Like, don't be a crybaby on stage because your amp doesn't work. Like give your all the whole time. People will feel that. And then when you have the chance to talk to them, you know, make it a sincere dialogue, whether it's 10 seconds or maybe longer, you know, 5 minutes, whatever, make it real. And so that same process is 100% applicable to real estate. So now at the same time, become good at the rest of it. But if you can't get over that first minute of dialogue with somebody, you don't have the chance to develop the balance of your life of a relationship with them,
Right.
Or even a single transaction relationship with them. So, you know, that's just one thing. Just though that's probably the one thing I could say that is a total symphony that is between all of the spaces in my life, that is learning how to talk to people quickly and then assessing what's going to happen with them and then try to develop a relationship.
It's beautifully said, man. It really is. And it's so much wisdom that you can take that and apply it in so many different ways.
Yeah.
You know, I'm big on kind of what you said, that connection is currency to me. And
Yeah.
I was just doing a pod. What was the place right before Music Fest that I went? I forget the name all the time.
Oh, Godfrey Daniels.
Godfrey Daniels. Really cool little spot in Bethlehem.
Yeah, been there.
Legendary spot. And the guy Philip, you know, we were kind of having this similar conversation, and you know, he's asking kind of like, where's that come from for you? And you know, I went probably way, you know, 10 layers too deep, but for me, I was adopted when I was a kid. So, you know, maybe there's some subconscious like underlying theme for me that I'm just constantly seeking connection to fill a void, or, you know, fear of abandonment. There's a lot of stuff. We're on the therapy couch, so we can talk about this, but you know, so for whatever reason, it's in me to sort of over deliver what you just talked about.
Yeah.
I'm like a psychopath obsessed with, as soon as we come off stage, it could be at a bar, it could be wherever, I need to finish what they started. Like that energy exchange, they were able to give to me a lot more than I felt I was able to give to them because of the barrier of space. We're on stage, they're out there, I can't find out about their story and make that equal, to feel like we are equals at the end of that. So I'm obsessed with kind of what you just described. And maybe, you know, I'm hoping that that's what gives us longevity, because I truly believe in that relationship exchange. Like, just because you're a fan consuming our music doesn't make me better, different, whatever than you. I'm equally as interested in hearing your story so that you can, you know, tell me something that happened in your life, and now we're friends and peers rather than just you coming and consuming our art, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's relationship.
We're humans, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It makes
Right.
it human, and
Yeah.
it's important.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's important. But in my business, I have found like it can convert into like if that relationship converts into them asking me about real estate, whether it's
Right.
that
Yeah.
day or 2 years
I mean,
later.
how many gigs have we had where you're like, we're gonna take a break. You're on the horn. You're like, close that deal. Like, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. You jump on the phone. Like, I mean, not
Yeah, you
mid-song,
have to.
but
Like,
yeah.
you don't have a
Yeah.
choice.
You
Yeah.
set up a meeting, like you meet someone, a stranger that is at the bar or wherever venue, and
Well, I like
Right.
it, my career field, you know, lends itself to like, yeah, the more
Yeah.
people I know is actually good.
right.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if they choose to call you, they say, yeah, you know, actually we like that guy. You know.
Do you feel like you chose, like, not that real estate kind of chose you, but do you feel like it was the only thing or one of the only things you could do to sort of like perfectly intersect that mindset from music? Or
I'm definitely not smart enough to have figured that out ahead of time. Like, yeah, this is all, you know, accidental or whatever. It just, I knew I wanted to remain in sales. Real estate was a pretty low threshold for entry, like, you know, $1,000 and, you know,
yeah, and two tests.
two tests and, you know, and you have a career.
Right.
You know, the ROI on that is great, you know, as compared to, you know, what I've paid for colleges. But, so I thought, well, I'll just get the license and go do it. Like, my mom does it. I'll get a license and go start working somewhere. I know a bunch of people who were like, so that was like, so that's 25 years ago. You figure a lot of your peers are getting married, having kids, you know, so they're upsizing, downsizing. You know, it just seemed like a logical thing. I definitely didn't have the intention of figuring out that these two things could wire together. I think ultimately I figured out, how can I wire them together? Like, you know, if I sold, I don't know, whatever, train parts, it wouldn't make any sense. But like, you know, real estate is, everybody lives somewhere. So
Sure.
Yeah. It's
And-
a natural
and-
extension of like your relationship building skills and the connections and all that kind of stuff too. But, you know,
And being in Bucks County, from Bucks County, and you sell in Bucks
yeah, so
County.
it's
right?
not unnatural. Yeah, like if I
Right.
could talk, if I know anything, it's here.
yeah.
Right? I've lived here the whole time. You know, my kids have gone. I have 4 daughters. They've all gone to school here. Like most of my relatives are here. Like, you know, we've been here a long time. So, yeah, can offer a lot of insight on not just like, hey, the house is great, but you know, down the street is a nice town, and this is why you should like living here. And let me tell you about the school district, and you know, here's the good mechanic.
Yeah.
You know,
So
here's
you
a great
found a
place
way
to get a
to
drink.
do the music, the everything, fatherhood from just, you know,
it's just
real
like-
estate to everything in Bucks County. You know?
It's just when I'm awake, I'm doing it all.
Yeah.
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 Like you're just being you, like you said earlier. Like you
Right.
kind of figured out these things all. You become like yourself. Yourself is all the time. It's not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny, like, you know, over time, maybe it's the older I got, or I don't know, that music didn't get to a point where it's sort of it was a forcing function for us, or for me, not us, to kind of take inventory of my own life, corporate 9 to 5, fatherhood, all these different things. And I felt like I just couldn't, there was some kind of a blocker there that I couldn't authentically be all three things equally.
Yeah.
You know, and like I had to sort of hide music from my job, and like I didn't want to sit, you know, at the Sellersville Theater on stage and be like, you know, I just came from work in my, you know, shirt and tie. Like, you're not a rock star, you know, whatever. But, you know, I finally realized, like, I don't give a shit about any of that. I just want to wake up and feel good about all the stuff that I get to do in a day. You know, get to be a dad, a husband. I get to play basketball with my kids. I get to possibly play or write some music. You know, I get to build a company and do all this stuff. And it's like, at the end of the day, different path. Yes, it wasn't a straight and narrow thing to get here. It's hard to explain to my parents why I'm doing all this shit, but I don't care. It's what I love. It's who I am, and I'm finally at a point where I feel really good about all that stuff.
Life is what happens while you're busy making plans.
Right.
That's exactly right, man.
Yeah, someone else said it to me, and I thought, oh. I mean, like, we've had kids young. We've been, I didn't think at 21 I would be a dad by 23 or 24.
Yeah,
And you go, well, okay, well, this has happened. Let's
roll with it.
Let's roll with
what are you
it.
gonna
And
do?
successful children at that.
yeah,
And grandchildren.
all my kids
yeah.
are and grandchildren. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my kids are good people.
Yeah.
You know, and they have been a part of everything that
Right.
I do, and like the band has been a part of our household the whole
Right.
time. You know, which is
Mm-hmm.
probably abnormal for a lot of kids, but you know, our kids have grown up around it. They've known all the people in the band. Like, we've rehearsed at the house for years. They see the gear come in and out. Every function we have at the house, all the guys are always there. In fact, all of the guys in the band who have functions, like, we go to each other's weddings, funerals, kids' birthdays. Like, I mean, it's, you know, it's a little mafia-like. It's kind of it's almost like, and it's very insular. Like, we only hang out with each other, but which is not true. But it's a very woven together social circle as well. So, you know, so the kids have, they've just been a part of it, and so they see it, and it's, you know, it's a joke in the house too. Like, you know, I say, Dad, where are you going? It's like, well, I have band practice. They're like, are you 15? Like, I'm going
Grow
to
up,
Dave's.
nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Band practice.
Yeah. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
We're having
What,
a pizza party. Yeah.
Rehearsal.
Any advice for me or any young parents out there? Because I have 3 girls as well, and you had one more than I did, but 8, 7, and 3. Sort of a similar.
Keep drinking, and you'll
Why do you think that bottle is halfway gone already? Yeah, I mean, we sort of have a similar thing. I try to bring them to shows. They were here earlier, right before you walked in, so I'm trying to like expose them to not only music but just who Dad is and like what we do. And maybe it's different than other kids' families, but you know, any advice on sort of how to go about that?
That's the best thing you can do, is keep your kids involved in whatever you're doing, whether you're a scuba diver or a superhero or whatever,
Wow.
Mr. Green Jeans. Like, let them be around you. Like, we've always had our kids around us and around the adults that we hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
So they interact with them. They're good at interacting with, you know, people come in. My kids go to college and the kids act goofy and like party, and they're like, you have no idea what I grew up around. Like, you try having musicians traipse into your house at all, or, you know, having Chuck Treese on your couch at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, so they're not fazed by anything, but it's okay. Like, it hasn't corrupted them in any way. Like, it's made them stronger. Like, they see that my wife and I have a great foundation. We have a family that we work hard to keep. And so they say you can have fun, you can do all the great stuff in life, but spend lots of time with your kids so they don't feel like they have to wander anywhere else for, you know, whatever it is they're looking for.
Yeah.
Like, you should be the ultimate arbiter of what makes them feel good. You know, so our kids.
That's great advice, man. Wow.
Great. Let's do a shot.
Fine. Andrew, bring the coffee mugs in. All right, cool. So in the spirit of Backstage Bucks County, you being a local musician, realtor, there's probably not many people that know more about Bucks County than you.
Yeah.
So first question that we're leading off with everybody is your favorite plate of food anywhere in Bucks County.
My favorite plate of food.
A lot of pressure.
Your favorite dish at whatever restaurant.
I mean, I have like a 15-year-old's palate. Like, I'm good with chicken fingers and fries at the Country Tavern, which isn't there anymore. My favorite plate of food around here, I don't know. Like, we go to Bocce a lot. I like a filet.
Yeah?
Be honest, yeah.
I've only been, what's downstairs is Heart of Oak.
Yeah, it's the same folks run both.
Is it, it's the same menu too, right? Like you
Same
can
menu,
order. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have a great, I'd say it's our favorite plate of food because we probably just go there a lot. Like, it's close to the house. The guys who run it, Tony and his family, are awesome. Like, they're super cool. I don't know. Like, in the old days, I used to like all the greasy spoons. Like, I'm in the car a lot,
Yeah.
but most of them are gone. Like there used to be the Cherry Top up on 611 and Prisky's Family Drive-In, like all these old, kind of like, what do you call them, dairy barns or whatever, where you just get a crappy cheeseburger and
Yeah,
a
little
milkshake.
diners or whatever.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's my favorite plate of food.
Nice.
Yeah, wherever it's at. Yeah.
Love it, man. So second question, if we were to open up your phone right now, whatever you're listening to, Spotify, Apple Music, what song or what artist are you playing?
I don't have either on my phone.
Well, Jesus, the guy from Wineskin, it doesn't have either on his phone to play music?
I don't have any apps on my phone. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. First of all, I have to admit, I've never even listened to a podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I've never listened to a podcast. I don't know how to e-deposit a check. Like, I go to the bank. I know everybody in the bank. I don't know. I don't have any music apps. If I want to listen to a song, I just go on YouTube and look it up, which is like I have the internet on my phone.
Oh,
so-
okay.
Wow.
Well,
so-
good.
Yeah, right. Big step.
That's an accomplishment.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, I don't have any music on my phone.
So who are you listening to right now? Like, if you were to put a record on or go to YouTube right now, where's your music palette at these days?
Like, for me, like, if it's something we're interested in playing, then I listen to it a lot. I don't have like a space that I listen to. I listen to symphony music a lot.
Oh,
in the
really?
car.
Oh, cool.
Like, not opera, like just symphony, and mundane jazz. Like, when I'm driving, I listen to symphony most of the time, or talk radio, like a little bit. I don't really like listen to a lot of rock and roll. Like, I'll put on like. I like the Grateful Dead, so I'll put on the Grateful Dead. I have Sirius in my car, which was like a big.
Nice. There you
it's a big
go.
graduation for me. 'Cause
What are some of the channels on Sirius that you go to?
I like the outlaw country music. Like, I like the 80s and 90s country, whatever that is. Like, where they has like like John Anderson and Shenandoah, like those kinds of bands. Like,
Shenandoah's great. We just saw them. They came back for, I don't know if it was one night. We were at CMA Fest a couple years ago and they played. They could still sing their asses off, those guys.
Yeah.
They were great.
Yeah, great harmonies.
Harmonies are amazing, yeah.
I love Alabama. Like, I love 80s and 90s country music. Like, in my truck, like, I have a CD player, and it's all Alan Jackson, George Strait, John Anderson, or maybe a Grateful Dead CD, and then, like, I think the soundtrack to Pulp Fiction. Like, that's like that is honestly what's in my truck. Like, I have no, it's just a CD player that's screwed into the bottom of the metal dashboard.
Serial killer starter kit. There it is.
Yeah, it is pretty much.
I love it. Awesome, man. Last question. Sure. You being, a prominent local on from all fronts, one thing that only a local can tell you about Bucks County that people outside of here might not know.
What's one thing that they don't know? I don't know. Like, what outsiders should know is that, like, when they move here, they should not drive like assholes. Like,
Yeah.
Especially from Jersey.
yeah. So I feel like getting a bumper sticker that says, like, "Thank you for moving to Bucks County. Stop driving like an asshole." Like, that's it. Like, that would be my only. I'm not going to tell them what they don't. If it's a secret, I'm not telling them. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so
You don't want to give away the good stuff.
I don't want to give away the good stuff. You got to live here for 20 years before I give you the
Right.
good stuff.
Love it. So start with not driving like an asshole, and then we'll
Then we'll
we'll
talk.
indoctrinate
Hey.
you over time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have a whole bunch of pet peeves of out-of-towners, but yeah.
Driving like an asshole is
Drive
one.
like an asshole is number one. Like, you know.
Give me one more.
I don't know. I'm going to sound pretty petty, but, you know, if you are at the restaurant, stop talking on your cell phone to whoever the fuck it is. Like, loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just bugs me. But, you know, that's probably anywhere. It's just, you know, don't be an asshole. I don't know. There's a lot of new people here. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, I hate to see all the development. I'm in real estate. It's ironic, but
Yeah.
you know, I have a degree in agriculture, so I have a great affinity for, you know, that kind of stuff. Open space is, you know, once it's gone, it's gone. So that's something that's really important to me. But
Yeah.
I don't really, you know, do anything in that space to, you know, do anything about it. I should, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Play music. Yeah.
I play music.
Yeah.
If I could do more, I would.
And listen
Yeah.
to Alan Jackson. So I mean,
There you
it's
go.
all good.
He's the bomb.
Anything else for us, man? I think we're good on time here. I'm really glad to have you on the show and imparting all the wisdom and talking all things music, real estate, family, life. You know, I've enjoyed having you here, man.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you asking me. I don't do a lot of interviews.
So this will be the first podcast that you ever consume that you're actually on.
I did say to somebody earlier today, I said, I'm going to go be on a podcast. And
We're like, you?
he's like, you don't even listen to podcasts. I said, well,
We have to download the app on your phone first to be able to even consume it. You can't get this on CD, so we're going to have to figure out a way.
steam coming out of my ears. I'll
Pet peeve
whatever
number
I have
3.
to do. What is
Yeah.
the app? Should we say it, or you say it all the
No,
time?
you can go on YouTube and check out the show, and anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, all the other spots. But
Yeah, I don't. You know, this has been great. I've enjoyed it a lot. I enjoy talking about these things. I feel like it's something that, you know, I guess occasionally it's nice to talk about your own journey.
yeah, it's important to share the stories, man. That's why we started this whole thing, just to have a
care.
platform, you know. So, Mr. Evan Walton, it's been a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, but a great joy.
Mr. Dustin Napoli, thank you. Let's give it up for Evan. Thank you for watching and listening to the Backstage Bucks County show, episode number 4 with Mr. Evan Walton, and we'll see y'all soon.